Whether you live in Cedar Park, you've seen it on a map, or you know someone who's maybe driven through there one day, today we're talking about 10 things you didn't know about Cedar Park. First thing is that Cedar Park was named in the top 10 of best small cities to live by Wallet Hub in October of 2020. It was actually ranked number 9. There were a couple other Texas cities in that list, but Cedar Park slid right in there. There's been a lot of growth going on all around Austin, as you probably know, but especially in Cedar Park, which is really interesting because it's not one of the communities that's building all the new construction. It's already done that. It's definitely an established community, but it still continues to grow year after year. So in 2010, the population increased by 60% from 2000 to 2010, but the biggest jump from consensus numbers was from 1990 to 2000. Population grew 400%. So there were about 5,200 people who were living there in 1990. In the year 2000, there were about 26,000 people living in Cedar Park. There is a lot of development going on in Cedar Park as far as retail, tech, food and beverage, stuff like that. It's kind of a cross between the city of Austin and the farmland that's north of Cedar Park, closer to like Leander, Liberty Hill. Cedar Park is a good mix between those two areas. Cedar Park is really great for businesses. It's an area where people want to move to, and it's easy to hire good people there. One of the residents said about Cedar Park, it's pretty much you can be whoever you want to be. You don't have to be anyone else, and you're going to be welcome here. That is one of the coolest things that I love about Cedar Park. Second awesome thing about it that you might not have known is that Cedar Park is growing. We just talked about how it's growing in residents, but it's also growing as far as the commercial industry that's going on there. So leaders of Cedar Park want to position it as a fast-growing tech hotspot, and it is definitely on its way. We're going to talk about a few different industries that are growing in Cedar Park. So 3 tech startups that are contributing to the growth in Cedar Park. One is called Firefly. They make rockets in Cedar Park. Did you even know that was happening? I had no idea. They are hiring a lot of folks. Another company called Hyliion, I don't know how to say it. It's spelled Hyliion. They're a trucking startup company. They actually moved their headquarters from Pennsylvania to Cedar Park because of all the growth and the good hiring that's going on here. And the third company is called Trestle. They're a financing tech company, and they help people refinance their auto loan. They have hired 100 people so far in 2021, and they plan on hiring at least 30 to 40 more by the end of the year. If you've heard about Austin, you probably know about the Domain. It's like a mixed-use live, work, play area. Apartments, shops, restaurants, businesses, offices, all kinds of stuff there. They're building some of those outposts like all over Austin and the suburbs. There's 2 that they're building in Cedar Park. One is called Indigo Ridge. It's a $1.5 billion community, and it's going to be 5 million square feet. So all the same stuff like apartments, restaurants, shops, businesses, offices, all the stuff that's currently the categories that are in the Domain, that's going to be in Indigo Ridge. And they have another one going in called Bell District. It's only 350 million, no big deal, but it's going to have 16 acres of green space. So 2 major developments going on in Cedar Park that are going to be adding jobs, adding entertainment, and just overall contributing to like the commercial success of the area. Okay, lots of growth going on for food, beverage, entertainment as well. This one is really cool. I had to look this up and see what it even was. Austin's first pickleball restaurant is coming. So there's going to be 3 in Austin, but the first one is coming to Cedar Park. It's called Electric Pickle. It's a pickleball complex. And so pickleball is like a mix between tennis, badminton, wiffle ball, I think. You play it like on a tennis court, indoors or outdoors. You can play singles or doubles. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm super excited about this stuff coming. So they're going to have pickleball courts. They're going to have 2-story restaurants, patio, rooftop bar. They were kind of comparing it to Topgolf, if you've been to Topgolf, but they said instead of focusing on the golf and the food and beverage being secondary, the food and beverage is going to be primary. They're going to focus it more like a food and like beverage festival, and then the pickleball is going to be secondary. So you can play pickleball. If you can't tell, I love saying pickleball. It's the most fun word ever to say. So you can play pickleball while you're there, but really it's just going to be a cool place to hang out, be outdoors, relax, eat some good food, and drink some good beverages. So that is coming to Cedar Park. Also, Jack Allen's Kitchen, which is like a staple here in Austin, they are opening another location and they're going to be moving into Cedar Park. It's going to be up in that Ranch 1890 area where like Gold's Gym is and Target and Office Depot. That is one of like the anchors of Cedar Park. So Jack Allen's Kitchen is going in there, which is going to be awesome. Round Rock Donuts, so obviously is normally in Round Rock. They are expanding into Cedar Park. If you come to Austin and you don't have Round Rock Donuts, like it's like you were never even here. Make sure that you get Round Rock Donuts when you're here. Right now you're gonna have to go to Round Rock, but soon you'll be able to get famous Round Rock Donuts in Cedar Park, which is gonna be amazing. Another interesting startup in Cedar Park is called Momentum Extraction. They are a hemp extraction startup company. They are starting in Cedar Park. They're setting up shop this year and they hope to create 65 jobs by 2025. So they are going to extract the hemp and then put it into CBD form because the CBD market is crazy out here and get it into the hands of all those people. Third thing that you may or may not know about Cedar Park is it's awesome for education. So there are 17 schools in Cedar Park. 11 of them are ranked a 7 or higher from greatschools.org. If you've seen any of my other videos where I talk about schools, you know that I love that resource. Go ahead and check it out, greatschools.org. Cedar Park is in the Leander Independent School District, so you can look that up or you can look up Cedar Park. But anyway, the Cedar Park area is known for having phenomenal schools. As far as adults go, 49% of adults in Cedar Park have a bachelor's degree or higher. The average for Williamson County is 42%, so Cedar Park is bumping up a little bit higher than that average. They say it's a very highly educated workforce that lives in Cedar Park. So they're seeing a lot of businesses during COVID where they want to be located closer to where the workforce lives because it's such a quality workforce. They want people to have that work-life balance. So having good employees, highly educated employees in Cedar Park is drawing better businesses out here, and they are trying to make friendly workplace environment so that you like going to work, whether that means like sitting on your couch or you're going to your office. Having a desirable workforce is going to bring better companies to Cedar Park. Number 4, sports. So Austin has one pro sports team, and that's our soccer club, the Austin FC. We have a huge stadium near the Domain. It's brand new. You can go see all kinds of soccer stuff there. But we have 2 other teams that you probably didn't know about. They both play at the HEB Center, which is just a huge stadium where they have like live music shows, other stuff, events, everything there. It's a major event center, but you can go see the Texas Stars of the American Hockey League and the Austin Spurs of the NBA G League. So both of those teams are playing at the HEB Cedar Park Center. There's all kinds of sports that you can see in Austin. 2 of them are in Cedar Park. And like I said, the Austin Football Club is just in the Domain. It's like 20 minutes south of Cedar Park. So if you're in the area, lots of pro sports for you to see. The thing that you didn't know about Cedar Park is that instead of calling it Cedar Park, it was almost called Brugerhof, which would have been horrible. And in fact, the residents of Brugerhof changed its name because they didn't know how to spell it and they couldn't pronounce it. So when the railroad started coming through Cedar Park, one of the mucky-mucks of the railroad company just decided to name the town after himself. But everyone that lived there kind of put the kibosh on that because that is crazy and no one wanted for it to be called Brugerhof. So one of the kind of pioneers of Cedar Park, they owned a lot of land, they were kind of one of the staples in the community. They just decided to name it Cedar Park because there was tons of cedar trees and it was beautiful and very park-like. So that's where Cedar Park came from. Exactly as you thought, just because of the cedar trees. Thank goodness everyone decided to change it and it's now called Brugerhof. Number 6 thing that I promised you didn't know about Cedar Park is going to space. So one of the tech companies that we talked about earlier that's bringing a lot of commerce to Cedar Park is called Firefly. They build rockets. So obviously they are testing to send their rockets up into space. Their goal is to ferry commercial satellites into orbit. So they are testing their first one in August, so in just a couple weeks. It would be a huge milestone for this company. In May of this year, they raised a $75 million round of funding, and they saw their valuation go above $1 billion, which is one of the few, like few, they're called unicorn Central Texas companies valued at 10 figures or more. And Firefly is one of them, and they're right here in our very own Cedar Park. So they are going to space. They're sending their test orbit up in August, and if that goes well, they will be sending their official rocket up in September. So we know that Tesla is here, they're going to space. Cedar Park is here, Firefly is sending us into space. There's a few other companies in the area that are working on all this madness, but I promise you didn't know that Cedar Park was going into space. So number 7 is beer, obviously. There are like 5 craft breweries in Cedar Park. One of my favorites is called Red Horn. They are a craft brewery. They brew their own beer, but they also are a coffee roastery. So they roast their own coffee beans. They have amazing coffee drinks and things like that. They have been up for several years, and they're really a staple in the community. They also have little munchies and stuff you can get. It's kind of like a brewery with a coffee shop vibe. Well, they are expanding and opening up a second location that's going to be close to that HEB center that we talked about, where you can see the basketball and the hockey and the music and all that good stuff. They're going to be opening another location close to the HEB center that is going to be more brewery focused. It's going to be more of a production facility. It's going to have more of a brewery vibe, and they are going to be partnering with another local restaurant to do the food piece of it. So there are a handful of other craft breweries in Cedar Park. They're all awesome. Red Horn is definitely one of my favorites. My second would be Whitestone. But just super exciting that this isn't just like quiet little suburb town. We're going into space. We've got breweries. They're doing awesome things, and they're growing and expanding. Like the commercial market in Cedar Park is so robust and friendly because of all the companies that are moving here and all the quality employees that we have here, where companies want to come in and, you know, make life great for their employees. So that's what's happening right now. Number 8 of stuff you didn't know about Cedar Park. There's a ton of free and cheap things for kids and families to do. So I'm going to go through like 5 awesome things that you can do for free. Actually, 4 are free. One costs you like $2. So the first one is Brushy Creek Trail and Parks. So I run on this trail a lot. There's like 6 parks that post off of the trail. One of them is really cool. It's called Champions Park. There's like a huge dinosaur sculpture up there that you can climb on, and you can like dig for dino bones in the sandbox. Really, really fun. There's kids out there all the time. There's lots of shade. There's public restrooms, water fountains, all that good stuff. The trail is gorgeous, and all the parks along it are really, really cool. Brushy Creek Sports Park and Skate Park. Did you know that Cedar Park had a skate park? That's like 8B, should be its own little category. So if your kids are into skateboarding, or if you're into skateboarding, go ahead and head out there, do your kick flicks, do your ollies, do all your stuff. My husband used to be a skateboarder, and I picked up on some of the lingo. I don't know. I really like watching it. I think it's awesome. I'm just too scared to get on it because I don't want to crack my coconut open. But anyway, there's a skate park in Cedar Park that's free. Veterans Memorial Pool is $2 to get in. So this is the one that's not free, but it is like a water park. So they've got like splash pads, they've got dump buckets, they've got all kinds of fun stuff that you can do in the water. It's summertime right now, so now is the best time to go and like cool off, do some fun stuff. Kids are just now starting to go back to school. They're probably very cranky about it. So this would be a good thing to just take them there, get their mind off of everything, and everyone can just chill. Brushy Creek Sculpture Garden is really cool. So that is free, and it is sculptures from local artists. So that's another cool thing that I like about Cedar Park, is everything is kind of like community focused. Everything is giving back to the people that live there. The sculpture garden is one of those factors too. So everything that you walk through, all the art is created by locals. And the last thing is Elizabeth Milburn Park. This is a crazy park, kind of similar to the skate park. They have like BMX trails, hike and bike trails. There's a public pool. They do July 4th fireworks there. Just a really cool area for all kinds of different stuff to do with your family. Okay, number 9 on the list of things you didn't know about Cedar Park. There are tons of events and festivals and things like that. So you don't have to go down to Austin for like Pecan Street Festival or Bat Festival or, you know, motorcycle festival or anything like that. You can stay in Cedar Park and you can do all the fun stuff. So one of the coolest things they have is Cedar Bark Festival. It's for dogs, get it, bark. It's basically just like a little doggy fest. So bring your dogs, dress them up, do all the fun stuff. Great place to meet other people and talk about your dogs all day, which we dog people love to do. A Taste of Cedar Park is like a food and wine festival. So if you've heard of like Austin Food and Wine Fest, similar to that, but just on a smaller scale, and all of the food and the wine and everything is like local to Cedar Park or the surrounding area. So really a great time to go and sample the food. If you've been meaning to try something from a restaurant, but you don't really want to risk going there on a Saturday night, spending your money, you can taste little nibbles here and there and realize what you like and you don't like, and then go and spend your money where you want to. Fable Fest, this is like a Renaissance festival in Cedar Park. So there is like role play and food and decorations and everything. Really awesome. Again, if you don't want to drive an hour out to like Sherwood Forest, you can do your very own Renaissance festival in Cedar Park. And then there's holiday festivals. So there's tree lighting, Santa's workshop, and this is the coolest thing, there's a 400-year-old heritage oak tree in Cedar Park called Old Heritage Oak Tree. And they light it with like 30,000 Christmas lights, and there's a festival for the lighting of it every year. It's really magical. It's so cool to just think about like all the people that have been in and around and under this tree for the last 400 years. So that is a really cool piece about Cedar Park. Just to remind you that like Cedar Park is so much older than we are, and even than Texas is. Like really, really cool. Okay, last thing, I think this is the coolest thing, and I promise you didn't know this about Cedar Park. There is a winery train where you can get on, do wine tastings for an hour while the train takes you out to a winery called Wedding Oak Winery. While you're there, you have like a 2-hour layover, and you go do more wine tastings, and they have snacks and nibbles for you to eat. And it's a beautiful winery. They have tasting rooms in Burnet. The train is going to take you to the Burnet location. They also have one in Fredericksburg, another one in San Saba. But this one, you can park at Cedar Park, take the train while you're driving there, while you're riding there, have your wine tastings, get to the winery, eat your snacks, have more wine, come back on the train and have more wine, and then you're back in Cedar Park. So super fun and exciting. Definitely a new experience that you need to try out. At the winery, they have like gorgeous views. They have a patio, they have a rooftop terrace, just a really cool experience out there. And the winery is 100% all Texas grown wines. So all the grapes and everything are from Texas. If you haven't been out to Fredericksburg or to Texas wine country, I highly encourage you to do that. That's not part of this video, but just a little like personal tidbit. It's a lot of fun out there. There's wineries just like lining the whole road. Really, really cool environment. So this train, you can go out and have a tiny little piece of it and have some good views, nibbles, and drinks while you're out there. Also, there are a ton of nearby wineries pretty close to Cedar Park that are like an hour or so away. Marble Falls, Burnet, which is where this train takes you to, Florence, Bertram, and Liberty Hill. I'm sure there's more, but those are just the ones that are closest to Cedar Park. So if you're a wine lover, like Cedar Park is one of the best places that you can be for local wines, for like out of the box wines, for little independent wineries, mom and pop places, just really, really cool. So the next time that you are arguing with your family about what is the coolest area to live in near Austin, is it Lakeway? Is it, Austin proper? Is it Zilker? Is it Cedar Park? I think you can tell them that now it is officially Cedar Park because they have the wine train.